All right, guys, today we're going to be looking at the Tesla chart. We're going to be looking at the technical analysis as well as the Tesla astrology, okay? On this channel, we move beyond, there's a lot of technical analysis out there. I'm going to look at it from a very different, unique angle with astrology that can bring in some very important things that we might see that can give us some insights on what might be happening in the months to come. All right, so we are seeing a dump right now. We're seeing a lot of sell volume here. We're seeing 1, 2, 3, 6 bars of sell volume in a row. And we haven't seen that since, I believe, 2020, around there. So a lot of sell volume. We should see some buying volume come in soon, hopefully. But I saw some really interesting things in the astrology that I'm looking at. I did make this trend line here from the peak of 2021. I mean, there is a chance we could come down to this trend line and test 165. And then in February, if we can continue to go down, we might test this low at 152, around there. So that'll be really interesting to see what happens. I also have this other trend line from the bottom back in 2020. So we should have some support around the 150 level. That's what I'm thinking for now. Now let's take a look at the astrology. We are having Uranus is going to go direct very soon in the next 12 hours or so. That typically marks a major shift in the market. We're already seeing that shift on the Tesla chart with major dumping right now. And let's look further. Here's where it gets interesting. So let's take a look. So right now we're at the end of January. We did get Venus square the Tesla Jupiter. It's a bit negative. Let's see. But we are starting in February. We get some positive astrology coming in here. We get, Uranus stations direct, which typically marks a major shift in the markets. Could be good news coming here. We have Jupiter sextile the Tesla Sun, which is positive. We have Mars trine the Tesla MC. A little bit of negative astrology at the peak end of January, but then we get Saturn trine the Tesla Sun, which is positive on February 11th. Then we get Jupiter sextile the Tesla Mercury. That's also very positive in February 14th. And then on top of that, we get Saturn trine the Tesla Mercury on February 22nd, which is also very positive. We do get a new moon around February 9th, and we are getting positive astrology, so that's good. There is a possibility of a pump back up. We'll see, or it might not go much lower. But wow, I mean, the astrology is pointing to a potential recovery in February. Maybe we see a pump up. So very interesting there. And it's looking positive. So once again, this is not financial or investment advice on this channel. This is for entertainment purposes only. Just have to say that. But I did buy back in here at 183. But let's see where it goes from there. And if we look at the RSI, we are losing momentum on the RSI, so we want to see, maybe let's look on the daily. Well, we want to see the RSI momentum moving upwards soon. So we're just really low right now, so we haven't seen any recovery. We're just seeing this major daily sell candle here. So we're not seeing a recovery yet, but let's see what might happen. One thing that's very interesting is if we pull up the Tesla chart on top here compared to the total crypto market cap down here, we see some potential similarities of price action on the charts here, where, you know, we got the peaks back in 2021 and then we started heading down and down, and then we get this kind of pump up here like we did in January 2023 with crypto, and then we get another pump up, but then we're kind of bleeding here, and it looks like we need to hold this 150 level. We need to bounce before we get below 151, around there. Otherwise that could cause a lot more downward pressure with Tesla. So I'm still optimistic. I think if we bounce off of there, if we bounce in the 160s or the high 150s, that we could head up a leg further, just like crypto did the last few months. Lastly, when we look at the 200-day and the 50-day moving average, in 2022, we have gone below the, I think that's the 50-day moving average, and we have stayed below until May 2023, where then we got above it, and now we're heading back down below it. We're heading below the 50-day and the 200-day moving average. So now here's another thing that's interesting to look at. I just popped up the Fed funds rate. We are pausing right now, and let's look at the last time the Fed paused and what did the Tesla chart do. Now this is very interesting. It actually did kind of the opposite of what crypto did. Once the Fed paused back in 2018, Tesla chart started dumping hard. And but then when the Fed started cutting rates, Tesla chart started pumping until we had the pandemic. Then it had a major correction down. And then when interest rates went about to zero, then Tesla really went off on a bull run there. So that's very interesting. And similarly, now, ever since the Fed has paused, Tesla is dumping. So that's very interesting. So if the Fed pauses on January 31st, I can put a little line when that's happening. Tesla could continue to dump. So I'm just kind of seeing that now. That could be some more bearish pressure on the Tesla chart. So this is very tough to predict. There's a lot of things going on here. But historically, if the Fed pauses, then we could see more selling pressure downwards. I'm really hoping with the positive February astrology that we get a bounce off of the 160s level, maybe the high 160s, mid 160s. That would give us some relief, hopefully. But if we don't get any relief off the Fed pausing and the Tesla continues to dump like in 2018, we could head down to the 100 level, or perhaps the 140 level or the 135 level, somewhere between 150 and 102. So that'll be very interesting, and I will be coming out with a lot more updates if that is the case. But once the Fed starts cutting rates, which is projected now to be around March 20, there's a 50% chance, 51% chance of cutting rates. That could be bullish for the Tesla chart. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe. I'm hitting things from a very different angle than most technical analysis out there. I'm bringing in the astrology as well, so that we can analyze and predict as best as we can what is going on in the markets with specific stocks like Tesla, as well as crypto like Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum, even Solana. I'll be coming out with a lot more videos, so definitely stay tuned for that, and I'll see you on the next video.